Hey guys, this is West to East Quest and I'm Igor, a foreigner traveling to Russia and filming you the great country, Russia, St. Petersburg in this case, behind me, State Hermitage, Winter Palace, Palace Square, I think one of the most amazing places in the world. So guys, in this video I'm gonna be talking about all the good reasons to actually travel to Russia, experience Russia, short-term, long-term, or even moving here. It's all dependent on, probably starts with the first just experiencing Russia and coming to Russia. So guys, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. This is Igor and so guys, this is my top 8 list of why you should travel to Russia. How to do it, it's fairly easy. We're gonna get into the video right now. All right, of course there's different reasons for different people why you should come to Russia. But first of all, a lot of, or maybe even all of the stereotypes are very wrong about Russia in the West, and intentionally or unintentionally through centuries or just made up recently. So in this video I want to go through some of the great reasons to come to actually Russia, and from a foreigner perspective. So guys, first, in general, Russia is a greatest, biggest country in the world. It's just, it doesn't, I cannot understand why would somebody just not come to Russia in general. Probably these people don't know the actual size of Russia and the amount of different basically magical locations, whether it's cities or it's like natural places. So there's so much to see and so much history that you cannot just ignore Russia, and I think actually you shouldn't. One of the reasons people talk about, the politics side of it, but let's be honest, how many Western countries or normalized in your mind countries do you ignore from traveling just because of the hideous things you think they've done or actually don't think about? So just be honest. All right. Second of all, not all Russians are, most of the Russians just live their lives. They are not politicized. They're just normal people looking for their families. So the people are great, and that's the second thing on this list. Russian people are very hospitable, very interested in you, very hospitable, warm, funny, etc. One thing that you don't understand, it's in the beginning especially, that Russians actually, people say that Russians look like angry or something like that. It's not true, because actually Russians just don't show their feelings in the beginning, but as soon as you get to know them, and that's a common knowledge, the Russians will actually become your friends. Some of the people that you meet will become your friends if you continue meeting them. So, and that friendship lasts like long, and is actually like true friendship, something that is maybe not so easy to find in every world. So Russian people and different cultures in different places of Russia, most of the areas, or in general you can say that in Russia you are Russian first, and then your subculture, and these subcultures are totally fine. It's just enriching quality of different areas. For example, you go to the east, Siberia. Those are huge places to explore, and people's customs and cuisines, traditions, etc. That's one of the great things. One thing, of course, is also maybe the values. Russia is a country of traditional values, and this is something that is basically dying in the West in the mainstream. So if you support traditional values in a good sense, and I don't mean anything bad, on the contrary, this is the place to actually experience it. And in this country, whether you like it, support this or not, but men are, so to speak, men, and women are women. We have roles, and mostly, and they're supported. Meaning that, of course, they're different, and depends on the city. For example, in Moscow, you can see all kinds of stuff, and also maybe St. Petersburg. So it depends on I'm just making generalizations. in general, also from a city perspective, why should you come to St. Petersburg or Russia? Number 4, in this country there's a lot of possibilities. So because there's so many people, especially in the big cities, somebody makes something that you're interested in, so offers services, offers products. It's so awesome that I can find so many interesting things in this city, for example. I don't need to even everything you can buy from online, right? But also physically on the area you can find some places, and you can always agree. Always you can agree on a good deal with people from people to people type of thing. One thing that I appreciate, not that I'm like a big food lover or anything, but in Russia there's so many different cultures, and especially St. Petersburg, which is cuisine or a food capital of Russia, you can actually taste so many tastes from all around the world authentically. So I think one of the great things also adding to the cultural, but specifically mentioning the food. The food is great in Russia, but also it's not necessarily always good because there's so many places to choose from. But yeah, that's one of the things. Number 5 is once again other type of cultural experiences like no other. People in Russia, and especially depending on the cities, for example, St. Petersburg, where I'm right now, theaters, museums are very appreciated. People go there as a normal thing, and there's museums and theaters with lots of history everywhere. And even in the smaller cities you have museums and such. Not necessarily on the same level though, but still you can find anything you are interested in. I was recently in Tver, nearby Moscow, and I found museums of goats. It's one of the basically a landmarks, top 5 places to visit in Tver. Do they have goats in Tver? No, but they have a goat museum. And of course, speaking of the greatest museum, is of course Hermitage behind me, Winter Palace, one of the greatest places, museums in the world, and that's all in your nearby. You can easily get there. As a tourist, it costs you much more than for locals, but still it's very affordable for foreigners as well. And that goes to number 6. Everything in Russia is, for foreigners especially, mostly cheap. So yes, everything is affordable for you, especially if you're talking about like events, concerts, different products which might be very rare in elsewhere from Russia. No worries, here they are cheap. And of course, just basic Igor examples. For example, Beluga, the world's maybe greatest vodka, it costs here half a liter bottle Beluga vodka, $10 when it's closer to 100 somewhere else. And then there's of course, for example, caviar. If you like it, you can get it. It's very cheap for you guys, and it's cheap. It's normal price for everybody else. Not everybody buys the most expensive or locally expensive vodka because you don't need it, right? But you can also have different choices. For all you people who love beer, beer is Russia's favorite drink. So this is like 6.5 on the list. So beers is everywhere, and especially like in the suburbs, you can go to your local store and get a fresh tap beer, international or local. I prefer local most of the time. For example, my favorite is Zhigulevskaya, right? So yes, and that is very cheap. You can get a liter for $1 fresh beer. If it's like a Czech beer or something like that, it could be a little bit more expensive. Russians are outgoing people, and this is number 7, things to do in Russia. If we're talking about, once again, like cities or nearby cities, you can, people enjoy, like to go on tours, enjoy going, like experiencing things. So there's tons of things to do, not only in this multi-million city, but in everywhere. You can find places like aqua parks, amusement parks, museums like I mentioned, events for example on the central square, etc. There's always something going on, and there's internet sites for that. Internet sites that tell you what's going on and where to go. For example, kudago.ru. It means where to go. It mix of English and Russian. Kudago. So you can check that when you go to any city, and you can also see based on the dates. A lot of sports events. KHL is here, world's second biggest and greatest hockey league. So there's everything. Football. So yes, that's number 7. And number 8, things to do, part 2 basically. If you don't want to go to these type of parks or events, you can always go to Nightlife or Evening Life. And Russia has a lot of different, if it's a small town, of course, there's less selection, but let's talk about medium-sized and upwards. There's tons of different bars with theme bars, nightclubs, karaoke that are popular, and you can also see from the online Kudago, for example, there's suggestions and recommendations on that site. But in general, the culture is when you go to a bar, you just don't drink for your depression. You drink and you eat usually, and that's an odd thing if you come from the West, where you just, like me, just happy to drink. They usually wonder why, because usually they offer something salty, chips, a lot of selection, for example, salty cheese, smoky cheeses, smoky cheese, calamari, etc. So, and beef jerky, etc. So yeah, and restaurants are also not just a place to eat, but the experience. If you come with Russians, you can buy actually a little bottle of vodka or a full teapot, bigger teapots, and you spend the time and experience the evening, not just to drink and go. So guys, this is my top 8 list of why you should travel to Russia. How to do it, it's fairly easy. Don't believe the hype, so to speak. Don't believe the media. You can just basically get a visa, which is, there's links to my other channels or my other videos. You can get a free e-visa or just get a visa, travel to Russia. For example, in the West, they try to, I know that they try to, scare people off, especially foreigners, from coming, saying a whole bunch of lies. So I feel bad that they do that. But in Russia, I've had mostly just good experiences with the cost already, from the passport control to the customs, etc. But the life in Russia, it's very different. As soon as you cross the border, it's just like a totally different world, and in a positive way. So guys, I hope you find this interesting. Please subscribe to the channel. This is West to East Quest. This is Igor. And if you agree or disagree, or do you want to add something, please do that in the comment section. Why would you travel to Russia? And also check out my video, why you should not travel to Russia. So take care, guys, and bye-bye from St. Petersburg, the epicenter of the world. Guys, if you wanna rock the foreign agent cap like me, go to Igor's Russian shop and get yourself one, or you can also have a foreign agent. Hoodies, t-shirts, pullovers, same thing with Igor, other merch, Igor and Russian merch, Russian emblems. Go check it out, and you can actually, if you like what you see, that's a good place to start and support, of course, the channel, guys. Go check out Igor's Russian store. And you can order it to any place in the world, not restricted to any sanctions yet.
хотел, и тебе вот-вот 17 лет. Я хотел тебе просто понравиться, я как сумел на гитаре сыграл и спел. И помню, было мне 10 лет, я копил на новый велосипед.